and good morning and welcome to my tiny little apartment here in Budapest. And today I'm not really going on the train, but I thought what I'd like to do is spend a day doing a bit of a walking tour for my own enjoyment of Budapest, because I've never been before, and I do like to just get on my feet and stretch around, but obviously get some views of the Danube, and that's roughly my plan for today. But the reason I'm going to take my camera along is one of the things I think it would be quite fun to do is to visit at least the three main terminus stations here at Budapest on the way. So we're going to start in Nyugati and then go to Keleti and then to Déli. This is really just a bonus video. It's not even a ride out, walk back, it's just a walk. Although it's a fairly innocuous start, once you come out into the main building, it's amazing. I'm guessing each floor is a palatial apartment originally, and if you look over to where we've just come from, door number 1 in green there, so the whole of everything behind that door must have been an apartment. Imagine how posh you'd have to be to get a place, an apartment in a building with an entrance like this. So is that a Masonic sign? So there's our building featuring heads of Athena and Hermes. Right, let's pop up the street and have a look at Nyugati. Yeah, so we may as well just go in here. What must have been the old porte cochere. So people entering from the main street in the front, the main entrance, but of course you want your carriage pulling up here, probably underneath this cover. Still looking glorious. If you think all this steel work looks a bit familiar, that's because the rebuild of the station after the original station that was here from the mid-19th century was in fact built by the Eiffel company. So they've relocated the ticket office to those porter cabins. I'm guessing they were originally where we were looking through the window, and then that is the wing that covers just for the information. Across the way is the České dráhy train that is on its way to Praha, Hlavní nádraží. Of course, the train that came in on yesterday, effectively. And there we have it, Eiffel's huge train shed going over the main platforms. There's a number of regional and commuter platforms, both the right and left of the main train shed. My guess is the main train shed has the intercity and international trains departing from it. The trees just beyond the glass here make a lovely, lovely image as you walk down the platform. But before we step out the main entrance, let's just wander around the end of these platforms and then go on to the other side of the station and see if there's any more commuter platforms. And walking up here under Eiffel's train shed roof, it does look like a French railway station, I must say. Well, this side of the station is very much more concrete and steel, isn't it? But I suppose it's practical, and you don't get wet when you're getting on your train, not like on the other side. Right, so let's step outside and see what does it look like from the road outside. In fact, the wings on either side definitely have a very French style, I suppose. At the time that they built, it was cool to have things that looked a bit French. Well, you certainly get a few gems walking down slightly more backstreety routes. Those were wonderful carvings over the door. Well, crikey, this is something, isn't it? Wow, what a frontage. Apparently the two big guys either side of the archway are Stevenson and Watt. So they're the Hungarians, or the Austro-Hungarians at the time, tipping their hat to the British pioneers of railway. So as it said in big numbers outside, this was completed in 1884. And here at Keleti, the roof has more of a curved aspect, which to my British eyes is more usual. Right, let's take ourselves down the right-hand side of the train shed and see what we can find. It's nice to see if I can read a foreign language properly. That first-class intrail, as long as you have a reservation on the first-class train out of here, you will get access to the first-class lounge, which is lovely. Well, that's interesting. A great long row of doors and windows, and the sign above saying government window. So who knows what that was or is used for. Well, they certainly designed this station to be able to take trains pretty much as long as you can get. These platforms are very, very long. So long, in fact, this train just starts halfway up, 2/3 of the way up the platform. Man, this departure hall is amazing. The main picture is entitled Railway and Traffic, and that is by Morthan, who stuck it up there in 1884, along with his colleagues who did the other pictures, who have names like mining, progress, welfare, architecture, trade, metallurgy. Obviously a time when everybody was really luxuriating in what was a complete change in the way we worked and lived. Anyway, I thought I'd come for a little walk up here just to see what was going on behind all those windows that were called government window. I didn't want to go in and disturb them, but it looks like it's a place where you can actually do some work. And in platform here is the 1242 Vienna. Should be leaving any second now. Railjets are classy looking trains in those colours of red and grey. And this train's for Timișoara, as of course Keleti is on the eastern side, and so trains down to Romania and elsewhere will leave from here. Right, so that's Keleti. Nice station, isn't it? So next thing I think we need to do is walk away from the station down towards the river and get a little walk across the Danube and then see what we can see further on. Yeah, this is all a bit of a shock after coming from Brno, where the centre of the city was pretty much car-free, to come to Budapest, where, as you can see, there is traffic flowing freely on both sides of the river and across the bridges, of course, and it's just a cacophony of traffic. This does feel like the bargain basement station compared to all the others, doesn't it? And the pink shirts are all out for the RegioJet service to Praha HLN. Interesting that RegioJet are going from this particular station. I'm guessing that's because they can get a path out of here. Well, it certainly is a bit of a dull wasteland of a station. Well, I'm not sure that that long walk up from the river to the station here was really worth it. Is it a station or just a car park with trains in it? I don't know. But I suppose if you want to get somewhere and the train goes from here, then you'll come here. But you're not going to come here to just chill out and enjoy the ambience, are you? Of which there is none. Well, so we might have ended on a slight low, but I've still got to go and walk back down the river and then go down to the island that's in the middle of the river. So maybe we'll close this video with a few shots of being around the island and enjoying maybe the peace and quiet away from all the traffic. Well, this is better. I found the castle district. There's barriers, so it's pretty much traffic free, apart from many vehicles that are allowed in. So yeah, listen, no traffic at last. So there's a bit of a end to our wander around. This isn't a bad place, is it? So anyway, let's continue. Tourists kind of just arrive at the railway station and then go and do touristy things. So of course, when I get up here to the castle and I get a bit surprised that there's quite so many tourists, it's kind of, well, they weren't going to be at the station, were they, Johnny? So yes, I shouldn't have been surprised. Right, so we're going to track down now and see if I can get to the park that's in the middle of the river. 1941 to 1959. Not a very long life. I hope you've enjoyed this little wander around Budapest and its 3 main stations. It's not quite the usual video, so we'll get back on the trains or maybe the buses next time, and I'll see you again. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching.